Behold, Café MasterG. So this bike ultimately is a rescue, and Café MasterG, he has, well, become a part of me. He's kind of like a Horcrux at this point, where the bike is me, I am the bike, and we are basically one, especially out there in the road. When the bike isn't running great, I'm not running great. When the bike is running great, I'm running great. When I'm running great, just the bike seems to be running great as well. So I'm going to give you an introduction to the rest of this bike and a little bit about my channel. This is my 1981 Suzuki GS 450LX, and just like me, it's a little bit dirty, a little bit scarred, a little bit bruised, but never fully worn down. Oh, this bike was actually a rescue bike I bought 3 years ago in Seattle. This kid had it before me, something like a 22-year-old, and it was cleaner than what it is right now, but in much, much worse shape. For instance, the battery box, this was not even fabricated, this wasn't even here. I have done so much aftermarket work on it, including replacing the chain, but the kid that had it before me did not take good care of it at all. I'm talking like oil filter was totally bad, needed complete oil replacement. The battery box inside here was basically if you were to cut out the front face of a cereal box and have it with the thinnest aluminum you could get besides your store-bought aluminum. It was just right here, and that's all it was. And then when you popped open the battery box, it was a total nightmare. Wires were completely exposed. This is an aftermarket headlight, and the headlight that was in there when I went ahead and made the purchase, completely exposed. I was certain that the bike was going to catch fire at any moment. He also had some major intake boot issues that he just went ahead and wrapped it around with electrical tape, which is not the way to make that repair. Anyways, so one of the big reasons why I'm going ahead and starting this channel is because when I've been riding around for the past 3 years in Seattle, I have been bearing witness to the most weird, irregular, and unique stuff. Also, things that I just wish I captured, like good-natured things, or that crazy accident that you just wish you had on camera. And also going ahead and promoting the good nature that I know all motorcyclists have. So I want to go ahead and rework and recurb that entire idea that motorcyclists are these kind of mirror-slapping a-holes, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, that is total clickbait and so entertaining to watch onto YouTube, but my bike is way too recognizable, especially when I have this 3-foot dinosaur strapped to the back of my motorcycle bike, so I can't really get away with any of that. Not that I honestly want to anyways. So I'm here to go ahead and curb that sort of behavior, bear witness to the craziness that I go ahead and see on a daily basis while riding around in Seattle, and you know what, kind of also get in touch with my Dionysus side of things. And I get to be a little crazy on the bike and run around and have some fun and make people smile. So trying to make Seattle a happier place with Café MasterG. So that's basically it. So some of the post work that I went ahead and did on this bike before I rescued it from that kid was I completely redesigned and refabricated the battery box and the internal seat electrical structure. I went ahead and installed some underglow underneath, that way I can actually be seen better, and it's kind of cool, to be honest. Went ahead and replaced the chain entirely, learned how to break a chain, set a chain, and all of that, which took at least 3 embarrassing days. Went ahead and always, kept up proper maintenance on the bike. Went ahead and installed a new horn. I certainly did go ahead and redo the electrical wiring, the entire electrical rewiring on the bike, which I have to say was what I really want to do. That was the complex part that was so freaking rewarding. God, I loved it. I'm going to get into details of all of these later, but I went ahead and, made quite a lot of modifications and customizations, including, switches and mounts and headlights and gauges, and I'm just really excited about all of it. I have the M-Unit Blue in there, which was the main catalyst for the entire rewire. And what you're looking at here, so anything that I go ahead and I'm going to be pointing out, I actually will put a link in the description because it's just all so nicely compiled together. I wish I had something like that when I made this entire rewire. So I just want to go ahead and provide that service since it wasn't around when I was rebirthing a classic motorcycle, especially with the cafe style, which is what I was looking for. I went ahead and did the complete rewire here, the fabrication boxes. I went ahead and bought the OEM starter relay, which was really nice. Go to Bike Bandit for any of the OEM parts, the original equipment manufacturer. And yeah, so here's the M Unit Blue. It's a little bit pricey. I went ahead and committed to that purchase, which I by far do not regret whatsoever. And then this right here, so since I was tight on space, and it is a cafe racer, which ultimately you want something pretty small, lightweight, and naked, I went ahead and I bought a battery, anti-gravity lithium battery. Yeah, the AG 801, which was the smallest one that I could find that was in fact 12 and a half volts. These were great. They're a little bit cold on startup, so what you want to go ahead and do is just, flip your gauges and instruments on, let the battery heat up a little bit and get that good old-fashioned electron circulation through. Moving on to the Denali Sound Bomb. Yeah, okay, this one was the compact. It wasn't I think the Tornado is like their biggest one that they have, but I went ahead and I got the compact dual, and there is a relay system that it goes ahead and comes with it. So that wasn't too bad. It did make the wiring a little bit uglier because I installed this after I fabricated the battery box and redid the entire electrical rewiring. This is loud. It's a loud puppy. As loud as you can kind of really get. Motorcycle horns, they all sound kind of tutti-frutti. But this is just an exceptional purchase. I'm really happy with it. You can get your own separate mount on Amazon. I didn't, so I'm not going to even bother talking about it. And let's see. So this is just your typical GoPro mount. This is nothing spectacular. This is the medium RAM GoPro mount, which actually kicks a lot of booty. I just put this on this month. I just wanted something sturdy and available, and this certainly has done the trick thus far. Okay, moving on to some of the Moto Gadget parts. This right here and this right here is the Moto Gadget LED disc light, which is separate from the pin light, which I can show you. These are the pin light. They're incredibly bright. That's why I really like them. First off, they have a very incognito look. When you go ahead and turn it off, it's so inconspicuous. You don't know what you're looking at. What I did, because I really like the gold accents that I have constantly maintained, and then we'll get to the front dash later of it, but I have these brass brackets that I use in epoxy to go ahead and seal in pretty well. I waterproofed it all, the entire system. Your electrical tape and a really good epoxy. So they're very inconspicuous, but when you turn them on at night, they are so bright. And I do not have these rigged with my turn indicators, unlike the Moto Gadget disc here. And of course, this is just your back strip, your LED strip that you can get on Amazon. I have a link for this bad boy, and link for these as well, just because it's so easy to go ahead and you can run down the list that I have. And if you're actually going ahead and working on the project like I am, I mean, this is going to be so nice and simple. I wish someone did this for me too. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but no need now. I'm going to utilize all of the SEO benefits YouTube has to offer, so it falls right into your computer. That'll be really nice. So yeah, so these are really nice. They're a little bit of a pretty penny, to be honest. I want to say, gosh, were they $40? I might be getting these mixed up. This might be 40. This might be 60. You'll see it in the link, though, as far as I'm concerned about that. And these are actually really tough, these Moto Gadget discs. They're incredibly tough, which I really appreciate. So, for instance, this one right here, we're going to take a look at this because I got to show you. I had a taxi driver hit me. Fortunately, I wasn't on the bike, though. So, MasterG got banged up. If you can tell, this is actually pretty cracked along the end here because the contact point was this. Oh, and right here, the tank. I just finished painting and replacing the tank. And then the taxi driver smashes me. I was so upset about that. Okay, So these are the Dime City Cycles tachometer and speedometer. So full heads up, this is in fact in kilometers for the speedometer. I like making the conversion in my head. It's just fine. I was looking for a very specific look with a very specific LED structure. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's got a nice dark glow. You'll see in some of my videos when I'm riding at night. It's got a nice kind of electric blue glow, which when I go ahead and I compare it with the D Trio underglow, and it all looks succinct, which is nice. What I do appreciate, of course, you got your high beam indicator, which if you notice is actually not that bright. You won't see a big difference right there. That's because I went ahead and installed a 10 ohm resistor. I was looking at the reviews like this on Amazon, and once again, I do have the link for this. There were a lot of complaints that this blue LED light would just blind you while you're riding. And what I did is I was like, great, I'm gonna go ahead and put a 10 ohm resistor on there. Don't do anything more. This won't make any effect. I'll be able to see this effect at night, but it's effective enough during the day where I don't actually see a difference, but at night I can see if that indicator's on or not. Once again, you just have really vivid panels up here. I have an old bike which does not have an oil gauge, so this is it right here. I got a switch back here that I rigged up, an auxiliary switch, which I also used for my old vintage headlamp down there. But what you can see is I have this indicator rigged up with here. Why do you ask? That's useless if you only want to do a light show. Well, I went ahead and I have that rigged with my USB charger, and I fabricated the plate and these connectors, and then chose these, of course, brass accents just to complete the bike's look regarding that. But this is actually a wonderful purchase right here. First off, it has its own on-off, which I didn't need, but this was actually a replacement. This is a far more superior model. Yeah, so what I had before this actually was the Blue Fire waterproof USB. Don't get it. I did include the link in the video description just so you make sure you know what not to get. It lasted me 3 months, and it wasn't even that incredibly typical Seattle pouring rain weather. This has outlived that former, I think it was called, it was the Blue Fire. This one right here that I have now is the Johan Quick Charge USB, which I have zero complaints about. First off, it actually looks cooler. It's got a deeper blue, but it's actually quick charge. So when I go ahead and use the RAM mount X Grip for my phone, it's just so nice and easy. It is a quick charge, incredibly easy to install back here. So, oh yeah. This is the actual. This is a Harley headlight actually, and I'm just happy that I can. Ew, gross. I should clean that. I'm just really happy that I can be seen at night. It's a pretty cool headlight too, which is just nice to have. But the most important thing is honestly, you got to be seen, and you got to make sure you know what you're doing, and you have to make sure that you can just see anything on the road at all times. You'd be so surprised how many people cannot see a motorcyclist. It's pretty wild. I think that is all I have for the introductory video of Café MasterG. He's an old boy. He's been around the block. He's been rescued. He's been stolen. That's a story for another day. He's got some chips, dents, bumps, stains, some dirt. But guess what? His insides, the electrical wiring, is just immaculate. And you know what? He runs so well. That's all that really matters. It's the beauty on the inside that matters. Don't you know? And I think it's time to hear this boy fire up. Oh, yes. I wouldn't call it a purr, more kind of like a gruff meow. That's kind of what we're getting at here. Oh, but he's so great. Works out so well. Oh, Café MasterG. You and I, buddy, we're gonna go places. We're gonna go places. We've already been many places before, and we're gonna do it again. And now YouTube will bear witness to all of the craziness and all the love that we provide the world. Ain't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? Oh, lovely.